Well, hey, sweet friends, welcome to Becky Daniel's home. You know, I've been working on my front porch and I went down the little rabbit hole of loving the yellow and black for this summer. And today I'm going to work on a really cute wooden round that I'm going to hang on my front door. And I kind of got an inspiration from a piece I had done a while back that said, "Yay, you're here." So I wanted to simplify this a little bit. So what I did is you buy these wooden rounds. I bought this one at Lowe's. They're really inexpensive and you can paint them, stain them, however you want. They're really, really forgiving and they're really user-friendly. So you got to get your round. I went ahead and stained mine because it's going to go on my front porch. I just thought, you know what, we're going to cover it in scrapbook paper and then we're going to end up putting a clear varnish over it. So I just went ahead and stained this with Jacobine. And then I have the little wooden cutout that says hello. Now I ordered these off of Etsy, but you can get them at craft shops. You can order them on eBay. You can get them on Amazon. And I ordered a pack of 6 on Etsy and they were really affordable. So, you know, do a little research there. And then what we're going to do is keeping true to the plaid. And it's so funny because I didn't really plan this out when I put this shirt on and I'm working with this plaid scrapbook paper, but I pulled out some my scrapbooking paper that I had, and I have this bigger plaid, and then I've got this stripe, which I think is really awesome, and then I've got this smaller plaid, and then I've got this one, and I was like looking at all of them, and I'm like, I don't know what I want to do, and I finally settled in on this one. I think it's going to look really, really good with everything else that's going on the front porch. So in keeping true to my love for the buffalo plaid, it's going to work out absolutely fabulous. It's going to work out absolutely fabulous. There we go. Okay, let me move that off to the side. Now the first thing we're going to do, sweet friends, is I'm going to go ahead and paint my my little wooden hello, and I'm going to paint it a bright yellow. And I have a couple different colors of yellow here that I picked up at the Walmart, and this one might be fine, but you know what, I'm not sure it's going to be too light, so I've got a little bit of a darker gold as well. So let's just go ahead and see which one we like best. I don't want it to be like real sunny yellow, but I don't want it to look too gold either. So let's just see what this looks like. There's a little of that yellow here. Let's just give that a little one coat. You know what? I do like the yellow. I'm going to just go with that. And that color, you guys, was Sunny Day. So it's Sunny Day. Yay, yay, Sunny Day. Oh, Sunny Day. I love it. Love it so much. Okay, so let's just go ahead and put that coat of paint on our little wooden hello. And these little laser cut wooden cutouts are really nice, and the one end is a little darker, or I should say the edges are a little darker. So if you don't feel like you want to paint those, you don't necessarily have to because they kind of look finished. I'm just going to go ahead and just run a little bit of my yellow paint over the edge, just because in case you see it from the side, it'll look finished off that way, but they do look good unfinished there. So you could do hello, you could do hi, you could do welcome, you could do be our guest, you know, and I love yay, you're here. That's one of my favorites is yay, you're here. But I just thought for this little sweetheart, just a really happy little sweet, simple hello is going to be the perfect little saying for this. And you know what? If you're up to it and you've got the skills, you could paint the buffalo plaid onto your wooden round. I just wanted to keep it simple, so that's why I'm using the scrapbook paper. And with the addition of the clear spray on it, it's going to hold up fine in the weather. Okay, so we're going to just go ahead and sit this aside. Make sure I got it all covered here. Okay, we're going to sit that aside. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come over here to our scrapbook paper, and it's going to take 2 pieces of scrapbook paper. And first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and position the first piece on, and then I'm going to come over here to the second piece, and I'm going to have to cut it, and then we're going to piece it together. So I want to get that done before I start Mod Podging. So I'm going to go ahead and just take my scissors and just cut that edge. And I'm going to cut the edge off. I'm going to cut it right there. Okay. So that's going to be good for that. And then we're going to come around to this bottom piece here, and I'm going to flip it around this way, and I'm going to go opposite You know what, I'm gonna use the straight edge that I didn't cut. You know what, I think that's gonna be good. I'm just gonna go ahead and cut that off. And then we're gonna Mod Podge this piece on, and then we'll trim this one where it needs to be, or I can go underneath it, which is perfectly fine. We'll line that one up, and then we'll line this one up, and then we'll Mod Podge the top of that, okay? So let's go ahead and get the Mod Podge going for the first piece. I'm gonna have to get some more Mod Podge. This is the Mod Podge for paper. They have different kinds. They have it for fabric, they have it for paper. I'm not sure what all they have, but I know that there's a few different ones. I got the scrapbook paper at Hobby Lobby, 50% off. I love their 50% off, you guys. I'm just gonna tell you, when they have 50% off with their scrapbook paper, I load up. And I do have, which I couldn't find, I have a little tool, it looks like a little roller, and it's good for your Mod Podge to roll out any wrinkles or little bubbles that get on the paper after you put it down on the Mod Podge. But you know what, I couldn't find it. I don't know what I did with it. You know, sometimes we get so organized and it's like, well, I lost it. It'll show up. It'll show up when I'm not looking for it. It'll show up when I don't need it. It'd be nice to have it today, but what I'm going to use instead is you can use a credit card. You can use anything like that, a gift card, credit card. I'm going to use the little burnishing tool that goes with my Cricut machine. And I'm not getting the Mod Podge so much on the side because I'm not going to be putting the paper down around the side. Let's see. Let's try this. That looks great. Okay. And I got my little Cricut tool here, so I'm going to go ahead and just do that. Burnish that down. And I'm rubbing it pretty gently because I don't want to tear the paper, or I don't want the paper to get wet and then I start scraping off the pattern. And that could happen. So that looks good. There's a little air bubble here that I'm going to work out with my fingers. Now I'm going to go on to the second piece, which is this one. Let's line that up. I'm trying to get the squares to be just about the same size here. Lift that up a little bit. Yep, that looks really good. Okay, a little bit more Mod Podge on this. I'm gonna go under the paper here and get that seam really good. Now you could trim it off if you want, but I think it's gonna stick just fine like this. Okay, I'm gonna go back over here, give it an extra little layer of the Mod Podge, because I am going to put Mod Podge all over the top of it too, okay? So it's going to work out just fine. Let's go ahead and just, once the paper starts getting wet, you'll see the air bubbles popping up and you just work them out. There, that looks good. I'm going to go ahead and just rub the edges real good. Now I'm going to go back with the third piece and let's go ahead and position that on here. Oh, I used the wrong side, you guys. Sorry about that. Okay, now we're going to take the heat gun to it and dry it up just to make some short work out of it. If you don't have a heat gun, just let this dry for a couple of hours and then you can just keep working the air bubbles out as you go along. Okay, now I'm going to go over it one more coat of Mod Podge all over the whole surface here. I'm not going to do a very heavy coat, kind of a thin coat, and the heat gun will dry that up real quick. And then we're going to go ahead and put the cute little hello on it and a sweet little bow, and this little dolly will be ready for the front door. I'm excited. Easy project. I like these lunchtime projects like this. Super fun. I don't know about you guys, but I love the buffalo plaid again this year. I became a little obsessed with it last year, and it's just, you know, resonating. Super happy with me this year once again, but this time I'm doing it more with the yellows, and I just love the black and the yellow together. It just is wonderful this year. Wonderful, wonderful. Such a happy, just a happy little burst of color. You know, front porches are important. If you don't have a porch, you know, your front door and stuff, it just really makes a statement to your guests when they come up to your door to have something sweet like this to greet them, to say hello. Okay, we got that. So let's go ahead and get the heat gun out again and dry this up. Once again, I'm going to be working on any air bubbles that pop up, and they will pop up. Okay, let's let that sit a little bit. Now I'm going to sit this aside. I'm going to pull our yellow hello back and give that a second coat just to give it a little bit more vibrancy. Look how good that looks. It's going to look so good against that black. Here we go. A little burst of sunshine. A little burst of sunshine for our door. Yay. Looks good. Okay, set this aside. I am going to go ahead and pop the heat gun on this guy, dry it up real quick. Okay, we're gonna set this cutie off to the side again. Now, we're gonna get this round, our plaid round finished off here. Got some sandpaper. And what I wanna do is I'm gonna take the sandpaper and just gently go around the edges here. And that helps sand that edge right off. There we go, nice clean edge. Looks good to me. We may have to come back in with a little extra Mod Podge just to hold an edge down if it pulls back up again. But right now it's sticking pretty good. Going around here. Now we've got our round covered in our adorable little plaid paper. And listen, you guys, you can use any kind of scrapbook paper that you like. Maybe you want to do one with bees or a little sweet floral or something like that. The sky's the limit. So you do what you like to do. Okay, that looks great. So now we've got our little hello and we need to decide where it wants to go. And I'm thinking just like maybe right off the center a little bit to the right. I think that's gonna look really good. So I can go ahead now, I got my hot glue gun. I'm gonna go ahead and position that little cutie on there. And you can use your line of your plaid as your guide, and that would work good. Or you can just eyeball it. Or if you want, you could get a ruler out. It's gonna be so cute. It's a cute little afternoon project. Well, actually a lunchtime project. Okay, so there's this. And I'm gonna position it here. Hold that up. I love it. Look at that. How cute is that? Oh my goodness, that's so cute. Okay, that's going on there. Now, what I have is, I've got an assortment of ribbon. I got the yellow and white polka dot. I've got the black and white stripe that I used on my lemon wreaths. And then I've got this burlap. And I'm kind of thinking I like the combination of the three of them together. But then I also have, you know, I've got the black and white buffalo plaid too. So I'm just gonna play with these for just a second to see which one kind of makes me the happiest. Get my wire here. I'm gonna start off with the burlap, and I have this whole bolt here that I got from the Hobby Lobby, and I have a little piece left from another bolt. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with this first. So I'm gonna make my little loop. I want the bow to be a pretty good size. So I think that first loop's gonna be good. Yep, that's gonna be perfect. It's about, 2.5 inches and 3 inches maybe. So I make my figure 8, pinch it in the center. I'm gonna twist it in the middle, make another loop coming out, twist that in the center, and then each time you come up, you just make your loop just a little tad bigger than the one before, and that's how you get the bow to go just a little bit bigger as you pull your little poofs apart. Okay, so I've got that, and I'm kind of thinking 2 might be good. I think 2 might be good. Yeah. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and cut a little extra off for the tail. Normally, I would do all my ribbons together, but because the burlap is so heavy, I don't want, it's just gonna be, it would be like a really stiff bow. So I think I'm just gonna layer the other 2 ribbons on top of it to get the effect that I want. I think it's gonna look good that way too. Okay, I'm gonna squeeze that wire, twist it really tight to get a good hold on that. We want a good grip on that. And now I'm just gonna go ahead and cut our little tails. Okay, So now I've got that part done. Now I'm looking at the yellow. Do I want the stripe on there with the yellow and white polka dot? Let me open the yellow and white polka dot. It's just fun to create. It's just fun to, you know, going in, never having done it before, and just make something super adorable. I love that. Let's see what we got here. Let's look and see what we got. Those two together. You know what? I'm not loving the stripe as much. I'm definitely loving this a little bit more, I believe. So what I might do is just go ahead and do a couple loops of the plaid. And then, yeah, let's do that. Couple loops of the plaid, and then we're gonna go over it with the yellow. Okay, so I'm gonna go 2 loops with the plaid, just a little bit bigger than the a little bit smaller than the burlap. 2 loops there. And like I said, normally I'd hold all the ribbons together and do one bow and kind of alternate them, but it's just too cumbersome with that burlap. Okay, so I've got that. I'm gonna go ahead and cut that off. And then that guy can go on. Yep, I like it. So I'm going to bring that wire back around. I'm going to attach the black and white to the burlap. Give it a nice snug twist here. Hold that on really good. So now we've got that layer. Okay, now let's go over with the yellow and white. And you know what? I always use wire ribbon. That's one thing, guys. I love the wired ribbon. I think it's fantastic, and it just stays nice and it holds its shape, especially outside. So yep, the third little layer is gonna be this cute little yellow and white polka dot. I'm gonna go ahead and do 2. Okay, precious. Now with this one, what I am gonna do is I'm gonna come around and take a little piece off, and I'm gonna tie this off in the center so it'll finish the middle of the bow off. Make sure I got that tail in there. Got it. There we go. Pull that real snug. There we go. Okay, now we've got the centerpiece done. Pull these apart, and then we'll finesse that a little bit. We'll attach it, and then we'll decide if we want some greenery on here. I might want a little greenery, I may not. Let's just see how adorable it is once it all goes together. Okay, there's that. I love this bow, and I'm kind of thinking, that's really sweet. Kind of thinking I am going to put a little greenery on it. Okay, so we've got that going on, and I love that. That is just exactly what I was hoping it would be. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fish the wire underneath my bow here. Okay, I'm going to tighten that up again. Then I'm going to come around and I'm going to attach this to the black and white and the burlap, and give it a nice big snug tug, and that should hold our bow together really well. Go ahead and real snug, okay? Don't be afraid to really ratchet down on that. Really snug. Okay, so there we have that. I'm gonna go ahead and snip that off. Now, that is a happy little bow. So cute. And you know what? On these, you can change out the bow for the seasons. If you want to use this, you know, maybe you want to, you know, change it out. Don't put a bow. Just do a couple little flowers on the top. However you want to do it. Sky's the limit for you. Just let your sweet creative mind just go crazy with it. So here I've got this. And now I'm looking at it, and I definitely think I want a little greenery. And what I have, you guys, is this is the greenery that I used on the lemon wreaths that are on the double doors on my porch. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and move this off to the side. I don't wanna get a lot of hot glue on the paper. And I'm gonna go ahead and get 2 pieces about the same size here. And I'm gonna start layering that in my ribbon, in the burlap. Okay, so I'm gonna get my hot glue gun here. I'm gonna go ahead and do this one underneath the bottom loop. Okay, just like that. And then this one is going to go underneath the other side, same place. Kind of eyeballed. I have them the same, size. That looks good. And now I'm looking at this, and I have some of this little boxwood greenery, and I've got the other little bush that I used for our lemon wreaths. I got stuff flying everywhere. This one, I think this is going to be really super sweet on here. Okay, we've got that. Let me see what that looks like in here. Okay, we're going to do one little piece on each side of this little greenery. And I do have some yellow flowers. I'm not sure that I'm going to use them or not, but we'll see here in a second. Let me pop this up and take a peek here. Yep, that looks good. I'm going to go ahead and give that a little dollop of hot glue. Hold that down. I love these Gorilla Glue sticks, you guys. Love them. Okay, so now we have that portion done. Let's bring our cute little board back over. Let's hold our bow up and position it where we want it. I love that. Okay, that's going to go right there. Okay, I'm going to get a little bit more hot glue. We're going to glue this down onto the board. Eyeball it here. Make sure we got it where we want it. Yep, got a little hot glue on my finger there. That's smarts. I've done that so many times. It's a wonder I even have any thumbprints left anymore. When I go to do my iPad, I don't even think I have any thumbprints. It always says, nope, nope, nope. All the hot glue gun burns in my life. This looks exactly how I was hoping I had in my mind it was going to be. Just adorable. Fuss with this bow a little bit while this dries. I might cut those tails off. We'll see. We'll see what it looks like once it's all put together. There we go. Look how adorable that is. Such a sweet little lunchtime project. That's going to look so cute. A punch of happiness on my front door. I'm going to let this dry a little bit, the Mod Podge, and then I'm going to go ahead and spray it with a clear sealer, a matte finish sealer, and that's going to help it stay really nice in the weather. I do have some little yellow flowers here. I'm not sure if I'm going to plug some of these in or not, but I want to share a little secret with you guys. So I've got these cheapy flowers that I get at the Dollar Tree. You can get them at Dollar Tree, Walmart, wherever, and they look like this and they're perfectly okay. But what I like to do is I take the heat gun and I like to melt them a little bit and kind of make them crinkly and vintage looking, and it kind of melts the plastic and it gives them like a really awesome effect. So I'm going to go ahead and go ahead and melt this down just a little bit just to show you. You can see how it's just starting to melt the petals and they start getting a little crinkly. I love how that looks. Now you can kind of shape them if you want. And then I hold it upside down. Okay, so see how it kind of has that really vintagey looking effect to it, a little bit more than this one. And it's sturdy. They're really sturdy because they almost like crisp up. I like how that looks. Let's try it with this one. Now this one does have a little bit bigger plastic center, so you want to be careful not to melt all of the plastic center, and you don't want to melt all of the green that's holding it together either. So let's just go ahead and do this one. Okay, there we go. You can see the difference. And I really love that effect. So I'm going to come over here and see what it looks like on our bow. If I want to go ahead and plug a couple of these in. just to give it an extra little punchy yellow. I think I like it. I think I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Let's just go for it. Why not? And then I've got this one, the little daisy that I melted. I'm gonna snip that back. Yep. I like the two of them together. I think they're adorable. So I'm gonna go ahead and melt two more of the flowers real quick, one of each. And that little cutie will be done. Okay, they're both melted the way I like them. Okay, so let's go ahead and pop those in our little bow. Snip this one down. Snip this one down a little bit. Little glue, little hot glue, and we're done. And like I said, friends, you don't have to do that that step with melting the flowers. I just like to do that because it takes really inexpensive flowers and makes them look a lot nicer. Let's plug this one in and we're done. Yay! Okay. Fluff this up a little bit. Oh, I love it. I think that is just the happiest, little cutest door hanger. Hello, hello, hello. I hope this inspires you to make something for your front door. Remember how important it is when your guests come up and you've got something so precious and sweet to greet them. It just says a lot about how wonderful you are. So listen, that was an easy, really simple little project. I got so many more things to share with you guys. I can't wait. Do something kind for yourselves today. And listen, we'll chat soon. Talk with you later. Bye.